Yeah, and it's certainly, I think, a good indicator of a person's character or perhaps their mental health or state of mind, what they are drawn to. I think it is healthy to be drawn to beauty, objective beauty. And I think when people aren't drawn towards such things or shy away from them, or perhaps gravitate towards the more cold or grotesque, those people are probably people to look out for. And that's serious. I think there's something going on with them that is not quite right. Maybe check in on them if you care about them. And it's funny because you mentioned it before, but one of the ultimate modern litmus tests that we have today for people is if they use an iPhone or an Android. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Yeah, look at iPhone people and look at Android people. I don't, it's there's something to be said there. And you'll have the Android people be like, well, we have a 17.5 megapixel resolution camera and the ultimate pixels per inch thing, like, oh, the processor is this. What? Who cares? iPhones are pretty. They're good. They're gorgeous. What do you mean? Like, that's what you care about? That number? That means
three cameras, I mean, yeah, I like that.
Well, then the Android answers, well, we had 3 cameras first. Look, the HTC has 4. Like, I don't care. I don't care. iPhones are beautiful. The experience of using an Apple product, no matter if they have inferior metrics on paper, the experience of using them is beautiful. It's flowy. It's fluid. It's just wondrous. Like you mentioned, Steve Jobs had in mind for his products. And anyone that isn't able to grasp that is genuinely a concerning person to me. It's genuinely a red flag.
Yeah, it's funny. They said that Apple is one of the few products that people don't throw away the package it comes in.
Yeah.
So much effort is put into the design of the way that the product comes to you that we tend to under my bed. I've got my my laptop, my iMac Pro box underneath the bed. Yeah. And I've got the box that it's really true. There is something generically appealing inside of our soul that beauty does connect with us. It should. And you're right. If it doesn't, what's wrong? What happened? Where did you disconnect?
Yeah, seriously, stop being a nerd. Just have a pretty phone. It's good for your health. It's good for your soul.
Well, just his whole attitude of incorporating that. And, when I was in film school, it's the first time I ever used a laptop at all, let alone we had an Apple. I didn't even know how to turn it on. The young man next to me had to show me. And I just couldn't believe how wonderful it was an experience. And just understanding that they're made for media and, PCs are made for word processing. And I mean, I know that's very generic and they've tried to overlap, but I don't think those of us that are fans of editing and photos and making movies, we really have to have our apples. I don't know anybody in our world that don't use apples for it.
Seriously, absolutely. And nowadays you can put Windows software on Apple. So I have certain programs I've used that it has to be on Windows. You better believe I'm using them on my Mac still.
Yeah.
It's not about just the visual. It's the layout of the menus. Everything's fluid. Everything's flowy. It's the tactile way that everything feels to your fingers. Even when the lines are sharp, they're smooth somehow. It's about the experience. It's not about the brand. It doesn't matter who's selling it. If someone were to match the beauty and match the function, yeah, they'd be popular too. Just nobody has. Yeah. Perhaps nobody will. And that's what people, of course, don't understand as they cope and seethe that, iPhone is a cult and blah, blah, blah. Maybe.
And we pay more for the privilege. I mean, it's something that is valuable. And because of that, we pay more for it. It's valuable to all these realms. And, it's awesome that you are sensitive to that you have acknowledged that part of your soul that needs to expression and enjoys that part of it. part of the experience of being. If I'm going to be on my computer 8 hours a day, you know what, I better enjoy the experience, and it
Yeah.
better work right, and it better do right, and I better be able to figure it out, because we didn't grow up with computers, my generation. So, having it be user friendly and cooperate with my phone. I love when my friends, we don't sit and talk on our phone when we're eating dinner, but we'll share pictures of our grandchildren with each other, and we can just airdrop them. We can just
Yeah.
airdrop them. I'm like, here we are. My mother's 92, and she has an iPad, an iPhone, and an Apple Watch, so she can answer me while she's doing her exercises, because she's got her watch. She's 92. We don't have any excuses, right?
Yeah, and hey, I'm not, a pro every Apple product. You'll never catch me with any sort of smartwatch, Apple or otherwise. You won't catch me with any, Vision Pro, anything. I end it at the phone. That's as ingrained to my body. I want my technology to be. But yeah, there's certainly something to be said for someone that can or cannot comprehend the appeal of something beautiful. And on the flip side of that, let's talk about the people that gravitate towards or proudly display or seek out grotesque art. Because we've already mentioned it's a red flag when someone can't understand beauty. But when someone actively goes to the contrary and likes to display or view something objectively disgusting or disturbing or perturbing, whether that is painting or sculpture or even film, we can extrapolate out. What do you think is going on behind the scenes of the mind there? Is that at all a healthy behavior, or is that something concerning as well? If you enjoyed this clip, you'll love the full conversation I had with Karen, where we dive deeper into the importance of creative expression and the healing power art can have on our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. It's a really great conversation. Click the link in the description to check it out.